Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm Ellie Lee with Ellie Lee Designs. Now today I have a really fun and easy wall decor piece that I really think you'll enjoy, and as always I have the items used in this tutorial listed in the description box below. So without any further ado, let's get started. First I started with a large 48 by 24 inch sign that I purchased from the Hobby Lobby, and then I took a digital file that I purchased on Etsy from 79 Design Studio and I printed it in a 9.5 12-inch size at my local FedEx using a matte cardstock. Once I got the prints home, I cut off the white edges using my Cricut trimming tool so that I could get a nice even cut because I wanted to showcase these prints without a frame. Now for all of you that saw the second episode of my Dollar Tree DIY project video, you'll remember that I kept the back of the picture frames that I used for a potential future project. I specifically used the little triangular pieces of the frame backing to use them as an accent piece for my prints and to help hold the prints in place. I'll be sure to include the link to episode 2 in the description box below in case you missed it. Next, I made 4 small ledges by gluing 5 tumbling tower blocks side by side using some super glue gel that I also purchased at the Dollar Tree. I used my speed square to help keep my blocks straight while gluing them together and set them aside to dry. Once they were dry, I used my Waverly chalk paint in the color ink to paint each of my ledges. This particular set came in a combination of dark brown and the natural wood you've seen me use in prior videos. Now this is so different from the usual white Behr chalk paint that I like to use, but I wanted to keep the frame the darker wood color and felt that the ink color would add a more bold look. Then I used a ruler to measure the spacing between my prints and use these measurements to adhere my wood ledges with a little bit of hot glue. I also used some hot glue to attach a small triangular hook pieces at the top of my digital prints. This made them look attached without actually having to add holes to my prints. Then I jumped into Cricut Design Space to create a stencil for the Thomas Edison quote that I found and really liked. After applying my stencil to the wood sign, I filled in the letters with the Waverly chalk paint I used to paint my small ledges. Being a favorite in our home and feeling like it really matched the theme of the schematic digital prints that I selected, I found it to be the perfect phrase for this wall decor. Now there are a couple of tips that I'd like to share with you in the event you decide to do this project with this specific sign and if you are trying a stencil for the first time. The first tip is to remove some of the stickiness from the vinyl stencil, and you can do this by applying it to your clothing a couple of times. Since the sign already came with a light coat of paint on it, some of the paint came off when removing my stencil. The second tip is to prime the stencil by adding a clear coat of paint or even some Mod Podge on the stencil first if you are looking to achieve crisp lines. This will keep the paint you are using to stenciling your letter or design from bleeding underneath your stencil. Since I wanted my letters to have a more rustic look to them, I opted not to prime my stencil first. If you feel you're getting value from this video, please show me some love by hitting that like button below. And if you haven't already subscribed, consider joining my YouTube family by hitting that subscribe button and turning on those notifications so that you don't miss any of my weekly videos. I used some Dollar Tree packing tape to help make the sign look more even after having the vinyl remove some of the paint around the letters. It wasn't the perfect fix, but it did help, and at the end of the day, it ultimately just gave it the more rustic look that I really enjoy anyway, so I'd call it a win. What do you think? Be sure to let me know in the comment section below, and also don't forget to take a look at my other videos. And until next time, bye!